I got a trailer to look at. You guys
Yay!
Damn, Kira.
Finally, some good news.
Kira was going through it over there for a second.
So speaking of the mouse, we got Iwaju. That's coming up now, and here we go.
Oh, that deserved a better intro.
It does. It does.
From Disney Animation and the groundbreaking storytellers of Kugali.
Happy birthday, Tola. This is Oti. You want stars for a pet?
It's great.
Comes a Disney Plus limited series.
What would you say if I asked you to go to the mainland?
Set in a futuristic Nigeria.
You want to see the real Lagos?
Yes, let's go.
Welcome to Lagos, Nigeria.
Tola, your daddy has done well for himself.
This is how to fish in large rivers.
Oti,
Where's my daughter? She's your responsibility. Find her.
Be careful, oh. Some of these people are actually dangerous.
I laugh in the face of danger.
I didn't hear you laugh, oh.
I got you now.
Oti.
Go!
Actually, kind of cute. I take that back.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. That looks good. Art direction, the art hair. It's giving me hair, and I'm here for it.
Afrofuturism.
I'm about to say she looks a lot like your character, Anthony.
I was gonna, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I dig that. That looks really cool.
So that looks like a lot of. So there's just a few Super 8 that's on Netflix. That's African superhero show about 4 young girls in Africa. That's cool.
I guess something else.
Yeah, they have some really cool ones that's out there. They bury them. God, they bury them, but they're there. Like, if it wasn't for shows like Sex, Love, and Robots and Love, Death, and Robots, where you have some great animation in a lot of those episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And then this comes along, and I'm like, we need that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need the woman from Afro. We need Iwaju. We need these type of shows.
And keep it off of Tubi.
Good Lord.
That part.
And it's not some super sad trauma story in the trailer. We have just
keep it off of Tubi, please.
We just have a happy future.
Beautiful.
We got a futuristic Nigeria and an African Perry the Platypus. Apparently,
that's a good one. My Dad's a Bounty Hunter. That's a really good
one. That was a good one.
Oh, that was also really good. Quick question, because I like, is Tubi that bad? Because I swear I am like totally out of the loop when it comes to Tubi.
So
there's a reason why you don't go. Your ancestors have asked you to stay away from the dark.
I keep hearing it mentioned, but like I have yet to watch it. I don't even know where to find it.
So here's the thing.
So if they were to come for your comic, don't sell. Basically,
right? Yeah, exactly. come over to Blerds Station, as a matter of fact. So Tubi is owned by he's the same guy that owned Rupert Murdoch. Fox News. And there are a slew. This is and Roland Martin did a whole piece on it, and he says there are a slew of up and coming Black filmmakers, very independent, very amateur, very just low budget, whatever. And you know, you make a movie, you want to put it on a streaming service, you want to put eyes on it, correct? So you go to a streaming service and they say, hey, we'll pay you this amount of dollars, but guess what? You don't own that property outright anymore. They just run it, they own it, they can bury it, they can distribute it however they feel. And it's and the quality's bad, which is to be expected.
I mean,
it's Tubi, but you know, they get a lot of Black eyeballs, as Roland Martin puts it. He puts there's a lot of Black eyeballs that goes to this because my show's on Tubi, my movie's on Tubi, and then you get everybody to watch it, and then it's like, okay, do those Black dollars come back to that community?
Hell no.
Nope.
And can they effectively create more content that we like to see? people trash Tyler Perry because of what the content he puts out. However, he knows his dynamic. He knows his dynamic. He knows his fan base. I can't get mad at that. He knows his fan base and he shoots for his fan base all the time. It's not meant for everyone. He has a fan base. He goes for it, shoots the mark every time. He hits a mark. Okay.
I always want to know what he watches on TV.
Who?
Tyler Perry.
Commercial.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know because I don't think I've ever heard him say that when he was he's never said that he made the things that he's making he wanted to see. He's always said that it's somebody in his family that reminded him of doing this. It's never been something that he's ultimately said that he's wanted to see. And
I think it's personally, I think it will be hard to, and he's tried it before when he did Alex Cross. I think it might be a difficult shift for him to say, okay, I want to do a science fiction film, right? And to have that level of quality that reflects that, not have that certain fan base. And I think his fan base would be hard pressed to kind of shift over as well.
Yeah,
it can be done, but I think it's hard for him to do.
We know he watched the Boondocks once.
We found that out very quickly.
To put it in those terms, we, as a creator, you are granddad. Tubi is the itis, and it's owned by Ed Wunsler.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I get that.
He's like, I get that.
Was confused. I hope that cleared it up. However, this show at least seems like a breath of fresh air. There's no like trauma porn in the trailer, so I'm happy.
Oh yeah. Anthony says I get that reference.
Oh, clip that, Tafari. Clip.
Oh, this is still a walking timestamp.
Okay. Cool.
So
interesting Nigeria. I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Whenever I see something like that, I'm all for watching it because we all have kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, that they don't get to see ourselves too much. They're getting exposed to people like Black Panther and Storm is the pinnacle, right? But then they say, what else? What else is there? It's stuff like that.
Supposed to be layers to this thing. There's levels to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, now when people ask Akon, what is a city going to look like? He can just pull up an episode and be like, that.
Yeah. Is he ever gonna build that city?
I'm not saying that building a city is easy, but I'm still waiting.
Do we at least have permits yet? Like at this point, paperwork is important.
We got some really nice PowerPoints.
I'm with Charlemagne. You can't get the copyright for Wakanda, so just call it Wakanda.
Wakanda.
So I think it's safe to say, like, because we always want to see ourselves and because we always dream of these things. This discussion is had not just on this platform, but other platforms where they talk about the discussions of Afrofuturism and how we see ourselves. We can imagine ourselves in these different venues. When we get movies like The Blackening, which blows another movie I failed to mention out the water for that weekend.
Yeah.
And makes triple back its budget, $5 million and made back 15. And guess what? We lived. It was a lot of us, so we had no choice. We all had to live. So, but it was a comedy at the same time, so it works. When you see stuff like Vampires in the Bronx, or let's face it, Vampire in Brooklyn is not bad. It's a comedy, and it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
So
to my teenage self, I was very like, oh, but now as an adult, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be scared. I'm like, I'm not scared.
No.
So I'm okay with those type of things, telling those type of stories. When I see a movie and it's a horror film and Keith David is the head vampire, I'm just like, well, fuck, sign me up. I don't care how bad the movie is. It's like Keith David's in the movie. So when I see these type of films, whether it's sci-fi, whether it's action, you know, the woman from Afro antagonists, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Air Force Ones that's coming out, you know, congratulations to them and meeting their Kickstarter, you know, for Windy Comics. When I see these types of entities, when I see these types of things showing that venue, they just say we can do it all. We can watch it all. We just don't want to watch it on Tubi.
Or platforms that claim to be for us but aren't by us, basically.
Yeah, go to Blerd Station. Talk to Kevin. I'll introduce you, and you know, so we can get some of these things up and going because they need to be seen. These stories need to be told. We have a crap ton of storytellers out here who are really wanting to see themselves, see their works realized, and even pushed beyond the border.
Can I piggyback on something that you said, because I feel like it's really important, and it's the imagination aspect. Part of the reason that I do what I do, like, one, I just want to tell good stories. Like, that's kind of like the main thing for me, is just, you know, it's got to be a good story. It's got to be something that people want to watch. But like the imagination, I want it so we don't even necessarily have to like think of ourselves like, oh, that's amazing, we're in a sci-fi, you know, where it's like we can get to our kids, you know what I'm saying, and it's no big deal to be like, oh yeah, of course, like we're supposed to be out in the future, we're supposed to be in space, we're supposed to be in these fantasies. We're like, that whole idea of that being a big deal kind of just goes away, because I think that just affects so much like how you live your life when you can see yourself in these other situations and not see that as a big deal.
Right.
You know, that's like, that should be the norm.
Anthony, you are so right in that, because like I always tell my daughter, I'm like, you just don't understand how important this is for you to see these things and realize like this is just going to be normal for you. Because when I was age, none of this shit was out. Nothing. So like I'll always say that I geeked over the Girls in Black Lightning, because I was like, holy shit. I wish I saw that when I was her age. I may be oh my god, that girl, the Afro Samurai girl that's on IG, that's amazing.
Oh, Samurai. Samurai.
Samurai. Yeah.
I love watching her content, because I'm like, I wish I would have even thought of myself to be that, because that was never something that I saw.
Yeah.
So like, you just hit that shit so on the nail.
It's crazy when you mention her, because when I started following her years ago, and I'm like, oh, she's bad. Like, the first thing I thought of was like Dora. That's the first thing I thought of. It was like Dora or a widow, which that came to life. And so when I'm introducing her to a lot of the people in our community, a couple guys is like, oh, she's fine. I'm like, that's what caught your attention? The woman with the blade that can like
that's a real blade, dude. That's not for play.
There's no playing around with that.
Yeah, but you know, when you see those types of people really out there doing the work and training, and that's another thing like Shayna West is going for, like to be a black stunt woman. You don't see too many black stunt women. And that's what she's striving to get done. And it's like, you need that. Like Kevin, you've already had her in one film. Then they had her in The Woman King.
You see what she could do.
But you know, it's like you need black leads for stunt doubles. I mean, that's one of those things that you have to have those stories, because even like stunt doubles, I mean, a ton of white guys stunt doubles, because those are the action heroes. Like that's who they call, you know, so that's like what they have on the bench in reserve. It's like, okay, we got all these people, because, you know, like Tom Cruise's stunt double might fall out. We might need another one. You know,
Ben
so
Stiller?
like,
No.
I feel bad for Tom Cruise's stunt double. I'm sorry. Half those movies he does is like, wait, we doing what?
That's because they couldn't. That's because Ben Stiller was like, I'm not doing that.
Like, yeah, I just had this idea of just taking a motorcycle off a mountain and then parachuting.
I'll give him respect, because he does a lot of that stuff himself too.
He does.
So I was actually just watching one of the Mission Impossibles, but like, you know, we just, you know, we need more. We just need more black leads. Period.
Yeah, that can really get out there and not just do the work, not afraid to do the work, but we need to see it. When you see movies like The Harder They Fall,
right?
You know
that,
which fantastic. No, it's not a true story, but the characters that's being played are real characters.
Yeah.
You know, when you see Whoopi Goldberg playing Stagecoach Mary, this is a nice segue. When you see Mario Van Peebles doing Posse, which I hadn't seen in years, and now he has a new movie coming out, but seeing us, it helps. So